Peace. What's happening, YouTube? Welcome to Nocturnal Thoughts. This is your host, Nocturnal. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, notification bell, all of that good stuff. I wanted to come to y'all guys and girls, goddesses and gods, YouTube world, all the people, just real quick, drop a jewel. Real quick, what was on my mind? You know, I want to ask everybody a question. And that question is, what would you do with 40 years of time? What would you do with 40 years? You know what I'm saying? How much living could you do with 40 years of life? And I'm 38 years old, and you know, I don't feel old. Technically, I don't believe that I'm old, but when you get to be 38, you start looking at that 40, and you sometimes can feel like, you know, you get into the midway point. You know what I'm saying? But either way you look at it, 38 is a good stretch. That's a good amount of time. You feel me? 38, that ain't no cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even make it out of their 20s or their teenage years. But I'm not going to focus on that quite just yet. My focus right now, and what made me think about asking you guys this question, was in reference to bodybuilding. I just did a video, you know, unnatural versus natural, and the health risk involved with bodybuilding and, you know, supplementation and steroids. And I still want to add on to that as I progress my channel. I definitely want to delve into, you know, steroids and supplements and natural food and healthy food and on and on and on and on. But what crossed my mind was Rich Piana and Leroy Calbert. For those that don't know, Leroy Calbert is one of the original old school guys, even before Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was the first guy to, you know, naturally develop 21-inch biceps. He had the full biceps peak, everything. He had the perfect arm. And he's in the record books for that. To naturally have the 21-inch bicep. And I'm going to post some pictures of Leroy Calbert. He, for the most part, stayed natural. And he had an unfortunate, I think, motorcycle accident that kind of took him out of the bodybuilding, you know, arena. But he still stayed into the fitness lifestyle. He had multiple like nutrition stores. And then as he got older, when he was older, he came out with a YouTube channel, and he did that for a while. He had a plethora of knowledge. He was a great source of knowledge for health and vitamins and exercise. You know, he came with some good game. And unfortunately, I think it was a few years ago, he passed away. He might have had an accident where he hit his head and his, his head. I think he had an accident. I'm not gonna go into the detail. You guys can look it up. But he passed away at the age of about 82 years old. 82. On the other hand, you have Rich Piana. Rich Piana is one of the biggest names that ever hit the YouTube fitness industry world. And what most people, you know, were digging about him, it was that, he took a abundance, he took a huge amount of different supplements and steroids and testosterones and what they call that, not performance enhancing drugs, but human growth hormones. He took a huge amount of that from the time he was a teenager up until the time he passed away just recently. I think almost about a year ago now. He passed away at the age of 46, maybe. 46. So you're looking at 46 on one side of and then on the other side, you're looking at 82. That's like 30, 34, 35. That's like my age. That's 38 years almost. That's my lifetime doubled as far as how long Leroy Calbert lived versus how long Rich Piana lived. So is it worth it? I'm not saying that every single person that puts steroids in their body is going to die in their early 40s. And I'm not saying that everybody that takes the natural route is going to live until they're 80. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, life isn't guaranteed from one day to another day. But I look at it like this. Time. Time is the most important factor that we have. That's why I'm trying to not stretch this video out too long because I got things to do. But, one of my favorite movies was Fresh. If you haven't seen Fresh, especially for the younger guys that just view this channel for a quick second, if you haven't seen the movie Fresh, go back and check it out. If you want some game, if you just want to see, what a movie is supposed to be about, check it out. This is an old school classic, and it's one of the most underrated movies, especially in the black culture. But Fresh was dope. Fresh was fresh. But in that movie, Samuel Jackson was a mentor to his son. He was a professional chess player, and he was teaching his son the game of life. He was teaching his son the game of chess. And, he dropped jewels on him the whole movie. And one quick jewel he dropped on him, which I try to share with my son all the time, was, time and money aren't equivocal. Don't listen to what these guys tell you when they say time is money. Anything in this world that you lose can be found except for wasted time, or except for time wasted. Time is the most important factor that we have. You could be, on your last dollar on Monday, and by Friday you can make a come up and hit a lick and be up a couple of grand. But you can't get back lost time. So what could you do with 40 years? You know what I'm saying? How old are you now? Whoever's watching, if you're 16 or 18 or 30, what could you do with another 40 years? How many goals could you meet? If you're a single man or a single woman, how many more, people could you date and enjoy life with? If you're a married man, a married woman, you know what I'm saying? How much more quality time could you spend with your wife or your husband with 40 years? How much time could you spend with your children and grandchildren? You know what I'm saying? With 40 years. So when it comes to this fitness thing, when it comes to this health and this life thing, when it comes to life and being fit and being healthy, you got to look at it at what are we trying to do? Are we trying to have a long, healthy life, or a short, quick life that you said, I had a short life, but I was big and strong for 20 years. Like I seen this one guy. I don't even know. I can't remember his name. It wasn't Rich Piana, but it was probably linked into one of those Rich Piana type of YouTube channels. But the dude was like, when he was in high school. Now he was a big, super juice head, and he was like, when he was in high school, he played football, and his coach told him or proposed to him, you know, to peak out physically, to be the biggest and the baddest you can possibly be a lion, you're going to have to take steroids. And you have a choice to make. Either you can take steroids and you can be a lion for 40 years, or you can be a natural guy and be a sheep for 80 years. You have to make the choice. Which one do you want to be? And then the guy was like, and I knew right then and there that I was going to be a lion for 40 years. And in my mind, I'm just like, man, what kind of dumbass analogy is that to teach a high school kid, and for him to keep that into his life, to carry that into his adulthood, thinking, yeah, I'm going to cut my life to 40s, but while I'm living, I'm going to be so big and so strong, and I'm going to be a lion. Dude, first of all, we are man. You know what I'm saying? We are man. You don't have to be you don't have to be a lion or a sheep. You can be a man. And a man can be on a very physical, powerful level within his own state naturally, and live and live into have longevity of life, and be in his 60s with strength and with all everything. You could be in your 60s and 70s, and some people can even be into their 80s and still have their strength, be cognizant, can have their sex drive, can still be within reason. You see what I'm saying? Their heart could still be strong. Like, you know, men, if they take care of themselves naturally, can live long, healthy, strong, fulfilled lives. Dude, what is you doing? Be still. Ugh. So that's all I wanted to ask you guys. You know, I just want to propose a question. What would you guys do with an additional 40 years of life? Or 38? What would you do with 38 years of life? How would you spend it? You know, that's all I got. Keeping it, what, about 12 minutes. I appreciate y'all for watching. This is Nocturnal Thoughts. Where we at? There it is. Peace. Together we stand, divided it goes down. I'm out.